How's it going? You're already deep in the Halloween weekend ride share challenge. I'm driving this weekend on really the busiest weekend of the year for ride share, Halloween. And I already took one ride and I'm already noticing a lot more trip radars than I saw last year. They're really sending me just trip radars. The name of the game, I want that big bank high surge, and I am already seeing it. It is 11 p.m. We're gonna ride this out until the surge dies down. I gotta go. I already got another one. And my goal is just short, big, high-paying runs. Now, you could multi-app with Lyft as well, but there's also a quest that I'm kind of going for. I feel like I should have taken the lowest quest at 30 trips. I signed up at 40 trips. I don't know if I'm gonna hit 40 between now and Monday. I might, but if I do, that quest is an additional $4 per trip. This is why I'm telling you, big holidays, game days, but Halloween weekend is huge. Oh, I'm not paying attention. Nah, too far. Uber's already asked me to take a verification picture, which pauses your shift. It keeps tossing me a ton of trip radars, but I don't love trip radars because I can't see the routes per se, like the visual. Yeah, if you know the side streets, then you can go by that. You know, the intersections that they give you. Now, normally, I'd never take this, right? I mean, there's surge that's going up and down. It's going to go up big time, hopefully later. It's 452 for, look at that, 0.9 miles to the pickup, 1.5 miles. But again, if I can just get volume, if I can get a lot of rides, then I can hit that quest. So it's keeping me in a busy zone. I don't care. It's a short run. The pay's, you know, it's not fantastic because there's no surge pay right now, but this is going to add up towards the quest the more and more short trips I do. Well, my strategy of literally just running up and down Butler and Lawrenceville was going well, taking short runs until the passengers changed the ending destination. And these costumers find that wall fascinating. Okay, so they took me down here to the south side. It is a big, long stretch of bars, basically. It's gonna get absolutely insane. There's cops everywhere. There's gonna probably be road closures later. I wanna avoid this area, especially later. It's almost 1 a.m. right now. Bars are only open until 2 a.m. here in Pittsburgh. So I did not even go online until I was getting closer to the bridge, getting back into the Oakland area. But check it out. I got this one. It's like 10 bucks for nothing. I mean, the person, all right, person could walk it maybe, but I'll take it. Why not? Short run, $10 adds to the quest. And after this one, because it's going to keep me in the south side, I think I'm going to get out of here. Because if I even want to do quick runs, it's going to get more and more and more congested down here. So think about that. If you're driving bar hours, and this is where I started here in Pittsburgh, like 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. I'm very familiar with these streets. That sitting in gridlock is not going to help you make more money, really. It's 1 a.m. It's going to get crazy between now and 3 a.m. And Uber just dropped a $2 boost. So that's a per ride bonus. I'm still getting a lot of trip radars. There's low-ish surge right now. I really still would like regular driver requests versus tons of trip radar. Here we go. Boom! $16. I'm gonna accept this before it disappears because my phone's a little laggy right now. $16.91 with the $2 boost and a $1 surge. I really wish that surge was higher, but it's gonna finish in Shadyside. It's gonna end in a much clearer, not at all as congested area. That's where I want to stay because there's bars there too. And yes, if I get pulled down here, I'll drive here, but a normal trip is going to get multiplied by the traffic that's going to be crazy down on this Carson Street. I just finished another ride. It's 1:30 a.m. You want to see what the map looks like? Look at this. Surge is crazy. 650 on the next trip. I'm sitting right by an 850 and a 9 and an 11. They always seem to give you less than the surge pay. Hey, 650, I'll take it. So that's day one, but I am going to show the numbers, of course, but I just had something happen on this shift that's never happened before. And I bet Most, like 99.8% of drivers have never had this happen and will never have this happen to them, at least to this degree. So let me show you the numbers. Here you go. We'll talk about the numbers, I guess. And this is just day one. Stay tuned. I got day two coming up next in this video. But let me tell you, after every single shift, okay, well, not shift, after every single ride, check the back seats. And especially if you're doing the bar crowd, then they've been drinking, they might forget something. Okay, that's a hint. So after every, they're getting out of the car, turn around, interior lights are on, and scan. If they're next to you, scan that seat, scan the bottom, look at the passenger seats. So I'm finishing a ride. Passenger is behind in the rear right passenger seat in the cabin. And I've already accepted another ride. So it's already lined up. It's queued. I got my next ride. So he gets out, goes in, and I forget how much I went for it a little bit. I drove just a little bit. Then I'm like, oh, I should probably check the back. Maybe a half a block, right? It wasn't immediate. So I turned on my interior lights. And I saw that this passenger had forgotten something. And you will have that happen, okay? That's not the issue here. You'll have people who forget stuff, wallets, purses, phones, whatever. Now, there's a process I'm going to show you here in a second of how to document the lost and found item. I couldn't click into the help section because the menu was showing my next ride. And it might be in there. If it is, let me know. But I already had my other ride ready. It said, go to your next passenger. And I couldn't find the help section. And even if I did, it takes some time. So is it in there? Could I have canceled my current ride? But keep in mind, this is on really high surge pay. Anyway, after my shift was over, I had this item and I went through the process. Let me show you. So I clicked on general help and it said lost and found. So I clicked on that and it said, did you find an item or did you lose an item? So I clicked on I found an item. And then it says, choose the trip that this was from. And I remembered because I was looking behind me after every trip basically, and it was that trip. Because if someone saw this item, frankly, any item, they're going to say, hey, there's a phone in here, or there's a wallet in here, typically is what would happen. So I selected that corresponding trip and it prompts you to call the customer. That's how you can call via the Uber app in this case, and it links me to the customer. Rang, nothing. And the reason why I say I don't think this is ever going to happen to someone, or this is going to be very rare, just because of the, I don't know what the word is. You can help me out here. The seriousness or of what this item is. So this passenger left behind $680. I left a voicemail, name, phone number. I said, hey, I was your Uber driver. And I simply said, you left something in my vehicle. And I've had wallets left behind. I've had purses. I've had cell phones. And you'll have that, again, minimizing the convenience. The riders charge $20 for a lost item return fee. And usually the same night, every single time, if I've been on different trips and I just couldn't mark it immediately, then I'll just meet up with a passenger other times, I should say later in the night rather. And with that, let me transition us to day number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the heart of the North Shore by the stadium and everything. And I am already, how many trips in? 3? Because it is 10:12 p.m. Welcome to day 2, by the way. I went online a little earlier because I know it's going to be busy. Steelers game tomorrow. Halloween weekend, Saturday. The rain is supposed to hold off. It's a little colder, which means maybe people that would have walked the distance might take an Uber. So I'm already happy with the earnings. Oh, update on the money, by the way. So I spoke to the passenger that I thought it was, and they said the money wasn't theirs. And I clarified. I was like, well, it's a good amount of money. I have this. And your such and such drop off at such and such. And they're like, yep. And they said, no, I have all the money from last night. And I said, well, it's a significant amount of money. That's why I wanted to double check. And kudos to them. They were honest. They're like, no, it wasn't me. I called the passenger before them. So I'm thinking, well, you were drinking a bit. Maybe you didn't notice. Got an order that's too far away. Maybe you didn't notice when you got in. Frankly, a wad of cash was literally sitting on the passenger seat, but maybe you didn't notice. So waiting to hear back from that passenger. I'll call them again tomorrow morning if I don't hear back tonight. And then after that, directly reach out to Uber support and wait for directive. But day 2, cross my fingers, it's gonna be a good one. Yeah, it's been nonstop in a good way. So surge all around me, that's fantastic. Bar runs, just avoiding traffic. I keep getting runs, but I want to stay in a busy zone. There's no need, in my opinion, at this time of night, it's going to be slammed from now until about 2:30 a.m. There's no reason to take a run that takes me even anywhere out of a busy zone. Just had a costumer standing in the middle of the road, blocking traffic so someone could go where she wanted, apparently. There's one story so far. Nothing crazy in this car though, knock on wood. All right, folks, we're just rolling right now. Look at this ride request. Huge margins, great surge, and I was actually thinking about running to the Wendy's here in the North Shore, but when it's this on fire, you really can't. I mean, unless you really got to go to the bathroom, take a bathroom break, but I mean, fight it sometimes, because I know this is the heat of the night, basically midnight until 2:30 a.m. Passenger is a minute away, another short, high-paying trip. Remember, short trips are good to try to get me that quest, and obviously high pain is fantastic. Currently 12:13 a.m. and I'm gonna take this moment to go to the bathroom because it's not really doing much right now, which is good. Perfect time to go, because it's going to start ramping up around 1:20 a.m. again until about 2:45, 2:30 a.m. when the bars close at 2. So the rest of night 2 there, this Saturday shift was basically nonstop, which was fantastic. Look at these numbers here. $340 in gross revenue for $59 an hour. 21 rides, only 9 tips, but that's really because these rides were surging big time, like $9, $10, $12 surge pay on top of regular fares. A stellar, of course, $4.68 per mile. We got the tax deduction as well, $47.62. Now, I'm going to show you the entire numbers of this weekend's shift here, but I need you to guess down below in the comments. We're trying to work out this money thing, the missing money. Did I get it back to the passenger or not? Communicating with Uber, trying to figure out which rider it actually was coming from. Look at this. I mean, the entire weekend's numbers, 9.5 hours of driving, $522.59 for $55 an hour. So I was a little bit short of the quest here, but I'll tell you this, I could have easily done the quest. The Sunday morning, technically, at like 3 a.m., when it ended my Saturday evening, I guess into Sunday morning shift, I was super hungry, okay? And it would have taken, what, at least hour and a half, 2 hours to do 7 trips. Plus, I wanted to make sure that I got this video edited and filmed for you. But if you really wanted to, you can knock out those 7 trips, get that quest, no problem. I could have done the quest, but look at these numbers. Still very happy with these numbers here. 12 tips in total. There's the business miles, 115.8 business miles. Stellar all around. Okay, so let's talk about this money here. The $680 missing. So the initial passenger that I thought it was from wasn't from that passenger. So I reached out to Uber directly because I had already contacted the passenger before the passenger that I thought it was from. So I told Uber this whole thing like, hey, I contacted this passenger. I contacted the other passenger. This is when I noticed it. This is how much it is. What do you want me to do? Uber said, can you narrow it down to 3 trips that you think it was? Yes. Here's all the details. Here's the names that I got. Here's what I did, etc. And they pinned it to that prior trip, not the one that I thought it was from, but the passenger prior. And I told them, yep, I called that passenger Saturday night, didn't hear anything back. And then they said, well, Same kind of thing. We give them your personal number so they can reach out. So here on Monday, I still have the missing cash, and we're trying to figure out what passenger it belongs to. We're guessing, I'm guessing at least, who knows if Uber confirmed this, it's from that other passenger still here early afternoon on Monday. Haven't heard anything yet, but we'll assume it's from them. I'll let you know when I can finally hand this thing off. So be on the lookout and subscribe. Drop a like on this video so I can let you know when that finally happens.